Friends, today we are going to talk about the most promising altcoins of this bull run. I have prepared a selection of tokens that have the potential to yield from a stable 5x to insanely profitable 50x and more. It is important to clarify that these are coins that I like very much and I have already bought or plan to buy them in my long-term portfolio. And this video is especially relevant given the remarkable pattern of falling dominance of Bitcoin, as well as the fall of the entire market amid recent geopolitical conflicts. However, we have nothing to fear as we have a positive historical trend in October. Therefore, I recommend watching this video to the end, as I will show options for both real risk takers and safer solutions for conservative investors. I want to start by clarifying, this video is not financial advice, and I am just sharing my thoughts and not imposing them on anyone. You have to decide for yourself what assets you want to buy, so be sure to do your own research and invest wisely. To begin with, I want to add more reliable assets. I will go from top to bottom depending on the risk level of an asset. So I suggest starting with the safest options, which are great for conservative investors. Here, I will of course add the best ecosystems and blockchains. So let's start with Ethereum. While everyone on Twitter is joking about ETF investors who bought the coin at almost $3,000 at the opening of Ethereum ETFs, I see this coin as a really cheap opportunity to buy a top blockchain ecosystem with tens of thousands of the best projects. And many may wonder why Ethereum is the first asset on this list. After all, Solana and BNB have been doing much better for a long time, and the ecosystem is much more active. Why is Ethereum in the top one? In general, almost 56% of the total TVL of cryptocurrencies is accounted for by this blockchain, and these are just crazy numbers. Moreover, spot Ethereum ETFs have already been accepted, which reduces the risk of problems with the SEC to 0%. And while the acceptance of ETFs is a plus, it is also a minus for Ethereum, as it has not met the expectations of traders. However, in the last few days of trading, one can see a change in this narrative to a more positive sentiment. I believe that during this bull market, Ethereum will not only not lose its primacy, but will also maximize the gap. And from the rather conservative Ethereum, I propose to move on to the more interesting Solana. Why more interesting, you might ask? Because despite all the advantages of Ethereum, Solana has more interesting narratives and opportunities right now. You don't have to look far to see that Solana has become the main hub for new projects and meme coins, which are a real trend in the current market. It was here that a groundbreaking platform for anyone who wanted to create their own meme coin, Pump Fun, appeared. It was a game-changing project. It brought crazy trading volumes and even crazier profits to its founders. More than 2.1 million tokens have been created, and the total profit of the platform is almost 782,000 Solana tokens, which at the current rate is $121 million. So, considering these factors, it's not hard to imagine how many users are currently using the blockchain, how much the blockchain is earning, and how fast the whole ecosystem is growing. In addition, there is still a chance that Solana ETFs will be accepted on the spot, which will most likely benefit the project. Finally, Solana has much more support in the US than Ethereum, so I expect the ecosystem and the token as a whole to grow. Also, I will be very interested to see the competition between Ethereum and Solana. Who are you rooting for? Share in the comments. And the last coin that can claim the status of a crypto god is BNB, the native coin of the Binance exchange. Everything I said about Solana can basically be applied to BNB. However, I see some limitations to its potential due to past situations with the SEC and Binance. But let's not forget that the BNB ecosystem is a huge world of projects, initiatives, and teams that continue to develop on top of it. And here's an interesting point. Changpeng Zhao, a legendary figure in the crypto world, has been released from prison. At the same time, a huge market maker, DFW Labs, launched a new platform for memecoins on the Binance Smart Chain blockchain, and the coin itself showed a good growth of 11.5% in a few days. It seems to me that the release of CZ can not only contribute to the growth of BNB's price and a significant increase in network activity, but also have a positive impact on the entire market. Of course, these are just my thoughts, and we will see what happens soon enough. However, one way or another, I am pretty confident that this ecosystem and the coin itself will continue to be in the legendary trio, and we will see them create new narratives and market sentiments more than once. I'm sure that we will at least reach the old all-time highs, but even higher is almost 100% probable. In the meantime, I suggest moving to slightly riskier altcoins that have potentially greater upside. Let's start with the Internet Computer Protocol, a well-known project that, despite being Layer 1, has had a significant impact on the AI market. They were the first to create AI on the blockchain, ensuring transparency and security for all users. This allows other developers to run their AI models directly on their blockchain. To date, ICP has created several AI tools, AI that converts text into images, text-to-speech AI, and even a breakthrough technology for facial recognition and human identification. Beyond that, their ambition is to create a secure AI that can be used by entire countries to solve global problems. So while everyone is not paying attention to ICP and not taking it seriously, I see huge potential in this token, and I think it can change the AI world. Let's not dwell too long and move on to another great AI token that fits perfectly into the league of cool gems. Akash is a prominent representative of GPU AI, which has a fairly large marketplace for renting and leasing computing power. In general, the GPU industry looks very promising, as top experts believe that it will have a capitalization of $275 billion by 2029. For example, NVIDIA earned more than $10 billion in the first quarter of 2024 from its data center computing GPUs, and Elon Musk is building huge GPU installations, and they definitely plan to develop this area even more. In general, Akash is almost a direct competitor to Render Network, but with much more advanced functionality. In fact, it is a marketplace where you can rent a GPU, and it is quite cheap. And the main difference is that Render is more focused on working with large companies and corporations. But Akash offers unique conditions that no big company can compete with. And I think this is one of the main advantages of the project. And since we're already talking about Render, I can't help but mention it in this selection, or rather, add it to the group of almost best altcoins. This is the largest representative of the DePIN and GPU narrative, which has partnerships with leading Web 2 companies. If someone doesn't know, they actively cooperate with Apple and help render images for Apple Provision. Having a strategic partnership with NVIDIA, Stability AI uses Render to generate images. And it is likely that Blender, the largest 3D editor, will be added to this list. As Render continues to improve its product and increase its scale, it is forging new partnerships and attracting as many truly creative and talented content creators as possible. In this regard, I have no doubt about the further growth and development of this project. And of course, let's not forget the promising narrative of DePIN and GPU. The last AI project among the tokens from the GEMS section of altcoins will be TAO. TAO is a decentralized network that combines machine learning models into a global brain, where each model works like a neuron. The native TAO token rewards miners and is used to manage the network and pay for AI services. In general, the project is quite interesting in terms of its technology, and the most pleasant moment is the fact that the giant Grayscale Foundation is backing it. Not long ago, the fund created a budget to support crypto AI projects, including TAO. By the way, Render was included in the same list. In addition, you can see a trust fund for this asset, which suggests that the fund will not just leave this asset and will develop it as much as possible. Therefore, considering the potential partners and support from foundations, I decided to add this asset to this section. And I am happy to show you the last asset on this list. It is a bright representative of the real-world real estate market, and in my personal opinion, it is the best one here. Many of you have already guessed that this is Ondo, which I have talked about many times on my channel. This project is quite young, but it has already managed to tokenize BlackRock's ETF fund and introduce USDY, a stablecoin that gives you profits when you hold it. Personally, what I like about this asset is that it has a real connection to BlackRock. I mean, not the same as Hedera, but real connections between wallets, tokenization of the ETF fund, and much more. In my videos, I talked about the fact that Larry Fink directly expresses his interest in the RWA market. He does not hide the fact that they are working in this area, and this will be a big step for the economy, along with the launch of the Bitcoin ETF. So taking all this into account, I see quite great prospects for the price of this asset to grow. Well, now we are finally ready to move on to more risky, but also more promising for growth projects. But first, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Here I want to start with cool representatives of different ecosystems, so the first asset will be Jupe. I have already told you many times about the native token of the top-DEX exchange on the Solana blockchain. In fact, this is a large and growing ecosystem. They plan to create their own mobile application, have already created a launchpad, and introduced a DAO system on which Jupe token stakers can earn very well, considering the fact that the popularity of blockchain is growing every day and more liquidity is appearing in the market. I don't see any chance for the Jupe token and DEX itself to lose its popularity and relevance in the market. I don't want to move away from important ecosystem projects, so the next one will be the Ethereum name service. I have already talked about this project many times, and we have already seen a lot of growth since the first mention, so I congratulate those who made their profits in time. And for those who haven't had time to do so yet, or haven't bought it at all, you can see that now is a pretty good time to get in. The project has a lot of support from the founder of the Ethereum blockchain, who openly says that ENS has a useful utility and is one of the most successful nonprofit projects in the entire market. I believe that in the future, the trend and need for our own Ethereum domain will become almost mandatory, so the popularity of the project and its utility will increase many times over. And from the ecosystem project, I propose to move to the Layer 1 blockchain, which has the potential to be in the top 5 of all blockchains. I recently made a separate video on my channel about Sui, but not many people saw it. So I want to quickly tell you that while no one is paying attention to this blockchain and the project as a whole, it is developing quite actively. The ecosystem is constantly growing and more interesting projects are appearing. At the same time, TVL is also growing quite actively, which only emphasizes how much the community trusts the blockchain and the projects on it. In addition, Sui wants to launch, or rather is in the process of launching, a gaming device that will have unique Web3 games, and this is potentially the arrival of a lot of new users and liquidity on the blockchain because GameFi is the most fun and easiest part of cryptocurrency. Therefore, I believe that this bull market can be a great opportunity for Sui. The next project will be SEI, which is quite funny because the names are very similar. It is a fairly young Layer 1 blockchain that uses parallel execution to improve scalability and performance, and runs on an EVM infrastructure. Despite the fact that the blockchain is less than a year old, it already has a large community, and together with the SEI community, it has a pretty good ecosystem, which is actually just gaining crazy momentum. Just in the last 4 months, we've seen a tremendous growth of TVLs from 20 million to 200 right now. And this is a great confirmation of the community's trust and the ecosystem's evolution with the times. In general, it should be clarified that many people compare SEI to Sui, and there are actually more similarities here than many of you think, because exactly 1 year ago, Sui was in an identical situation when its TVL literally scaled to big numbers from scratch. So it definitely has a right to be on this list and has huge potential in this bull market. However, I can't help but draw your attention to the fact that not all of the asset's supply is in circulation right now. But you need to understand that the team has created a fairly reasonable model for unlocking assets that will not allow the price to be drastically inflated. The next and final project in this section is Beam. This is a representative of the GameFi narrative, and I believe that this part of the crypto market will be able to bring the maximum number of new users to our market. The Beam Network project aims to create an ecosystem for the development of Web3 games using a special Beam SDK. Beam focuses on crypto games, which is a relevant story in the current cycle. With the influx of a new audience and taking into account the further cooperation of the Beam Network with good game studios and developers, I see a lot of potential for further growth in the price of the Beam coin itself. Once upon a time, Sandbox and Gala games were on the wave of hype, but now it's time for Beam. So we are waiting for a real breakthrough from them in the direction of crypto games. By the way, share in the comments if you have ever played GameFi projects, and if so, which ones? I decided to highlight meme coins separately because right now, this is the most interesting area in crypto where there are always thousands of ways to make or lose money. They are available on literally all major blockchains and even on Tron. Personally though, I'm more interested in the meme coins on the Solana blockchain, some of which I talked about in 2 separate selections, and most of which have already demonstrated from 2 to 5x. So today, I decided to add a few meme coins that have the potential for further growth in the long term and do not carry unrealistic risks as they have already established themselves as quite good assets. The first one I would like to add is a rather large meme coin, Popcat. Right now, the capitalization of the project is just over $1 billion. And the first time I mentioned this token, it was capitalized at $500 million. So there are already 2x. However, I see the potential for the token to become even bigger and maybe even the largest in the entire market. Right now, Popcat has a huge following and is a great example of a meme coin that has withstood various downturns and survived for more than 9 months. Even though it was created at a time when the market was full of coins that didn't last more than a day, the main role here was played by the community and a great team that developed the project as much as possible. So, without further ado, let's continue. And then I would like to add another giant, which in my opinion has already become the most famous meme coin over the past year. I'm not sure if I need to talk about this asset at all, because it's already legendary. At the moment, it is the largest meme coin on the Solana blockchain, having long ago pushed Bonk aside and becoming probably the most famous dog on Solana. I don't want to stay here too long and just say that the team has a lot of money, a very active community that supports the founders of the token very well. A great example of this is the situation with the advertising on the Vegas sphere. They raised $650,000 in a matter of minutes. Despite the already quite large market cap, this asset can absolutely surprise anyone. Just think of Dogecoin. And the last one among the meme coins, I decided to add a slightly riskier option because the market capitalization of this project is only $97 million. I did not add this particular frog by accident because you need to dilute your portfolio with riskier assets that can potentially multiply your investment much more. As with any cool meme coin, you can see a fairly large community, a cool team, and a promotion strategy. Personally, I really like the art and the style in which all the content of the project is made. It seems to me that the project has a good chance to enter the billion-dollar meme coin league. By the way, which meme coins would you add to your tier list? It's no coincidence that I named this section because I decided to add a few small-cap, high-risk coins that can bring in a lot of X's. The first one I will add here is Masa. They are building the largest decentralized AI and LLM data network in the world. Users can own, share, and make money from their data and computations to power AI applications. Masa has a pretty good utility in general, with analytics from them being used by projects like Near Protocol, Polygon, Injective, and the OKX cryptocurrency exchange. In addition, they have a separate line of business that actually helps with the launch in the early stages. So, given the idea of the project and its partners, I see a real opportunity for a crazy price increase during this bull market. But this point is not only called the most risky, because this token has only 31% of tokens in circulation. The next asset is a very interesting project. Spectral occupies a very interesting niche in the AI market. They use AI technology for machine learning in the Web3 ecosystem. This allows them to improve the use and capabilities of blockchain platforms by introducing autonomous AI agents that can independently perform complex tasks and operations on the blockchain, thereby improving the transparency and efficiency of the network. The project is supported by a number of major players in this market. The SPEC token itself has a fairly clear use case: payment for services, rewards for contributing to the development of the platform, and incentives for active users. Currently, the project has a capitalization of $94 million, but only 10% of the tokens are in circulation. And the last token in my tier list is Realio. Realio Network is a full-fledged platform that connects the blockchain with the investment world, offering solutions for Ethereum and Arbitrum. This definitely gives it an advantage in terms of reliability and flexibility. However, Realio's main feature is its ability to tokenize real assets, such as real estate or company shares, allowing anyone to obtain partial ownership through security tokens. This is a great option for investors looking for passive income and liquidity. RIO's current cap is only $8.7 million, but the project's potential is huge. But as with other projects, not all of the supply is on the market. So be very careful. And that's it. I would like to remind you that this video is by no means financial advice. This is just my vision and thoughts on the market, so always do your own research before investing and invest wisely. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the growth of coins. Thanks for watching, your Coin Post.